Hello and welcome back to the Woke Chicken. Today we're going to be talking about the bridge wreck in Maryland. We're going to be talking about AI and everything in between. So, if you don't know, on March 26th, a cargo ship crashed into a bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland, and the bridge collapsed. So, that's what we're going to be talking about. This is an article that we're reading to from CNN. It says that a crew member on the Dolly cargo ship, this was called the Dolly, they sent a message hours after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed, saying everybody on board was safe. So later we found out that 6 crew members had died during the collapse. So yeah, we're going to kind of go through that. So as far as we know, the cargo ship was leaving Maryland to go to Sri Lanka, and they lost power and then ended up crashing into the bridge and it collapsed. They tried to get a hold of the port, and the port told them to drop the anchor when they were pretty close to the bridge, and it ended up turning straight into the bridge. So
is that when they dropped the bridge? When the bridge told them to drop the anchor? When they collapsed?
Mm-hmm.
The lights on the timing?
Yeah. So they hadn't crashed into it yet. Obviously, they were still pretty far away. And then at 1:29, they called the port and they told them to drop the anchor, and then they crashed into the bridge. So there's about 2 minutes missing from the black box that they recovered too. Out of 30 days plus the 6 hours that they received right away, there's 2 minutes missing. And, people are going off about how there's something on there that they don't want you to see, and yada, yada, yada. So I don't know how black boxes work.
I don't think black boxes are visual either, so I don't think it's necessarily they don't want you to...
Well, or don't want you to hear. I mean, like, see as in
visual data.
They do have the engine information and everything.
And that's visual data, yeah. So, but they do have the video for the ship also, right?
Well, they had the black box, and it said that they had audio and video working, except for like a minute and 4 seconds or something.
Also, the video went down? Or just the black box?
No, the sensor data, as far as I know. So, yeah, the video supposedly was working
the whole time. So, video worked the whole time, and they don't have anything random or
unless that includes the power, because they say that the audio and video was working at 1:24, but the sensor data went out.
Which is the black box.
Yeah, so which I'm assuming is like all the engines and all
like
of that
in a car, thousands of sensors.
So at 1:26, the sensor data came back, and then at 1:27, they lost all power, and that's when they radioed in to the port telling them that they lost all power.
So they had sensor data back before they collided. Before
they lost power, yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's what doesn't make sense. I thought they lost the
and this
data
is coming from
due to the loss of power, but they are not correlated if they lost power afterwards.
Yeah.
Right? So if the data is missing 2 minutes
before they
even lost power.
That's why strange. People are saying that it's strange. So, and that's coming from a press conference that they had describing like second by second what happened. And so those are just, there's more, you can look it up. There's more that you can watch on it, but that's like just the main points that I took from it. 1:24, the audio video are working, and the sensor data is not working. And then at 1:26, the sensor data comes back. 1:27, they lost all power, they radioed in. And then at 1:29, they had slowed from 9.2 miles per hour to 8 miles per hour, and that's when they collided.
They were going 8 miles per hour still?
When they
after
crashed.
Dropping the anchors.
So the Dolly Bridge.
How many tons did it weigh?
The Dolly Bridge, when it's empty, it weighs 95,000 tons. It can carry 10,000 shipping containers, but at the time it was carrying 4,700. And only...
How many? 4,700?
Yeah, 4,700.
So it already weighs like, what did you say?
It's 95,000 tons
95,
when
so
it's
like 200,
empty.
200,000 pounds.
Yeah. And so, and then it said it's only about 30.
No, not 200,000. That's way. Then you add like
It's depending on how much the shipping containers
but
weigh.
just the
It was pretty much carrying half as much as it can carry.
capacity wise.
So, yeah, when it crashed, it was going 8 miles per hour, weighing, well over 100,000 pounds. I don't know how much.
Here, 95,000. So 95,000 times 2,200.
Yeah. Let's go into a little bit about the dolly. I looked up some information on it.
That's insane. So if that is correct and accurate, then it's like 209 million pounds.
Yeah, empty.
Empty.
When it's empty, no crew,
nothing on it.
Yeah, no shipping containers.
That's insane.
Yeah, so if you think about that, how much did you say? 209 million?
209 million.
Million pounds.
So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figure.
Yeah.
Number. That's insane.
So that's empty. So obviously, going 8 miles per hour is not that fast, but when you weigh 200 million pounds, it's kind of hard to stop really quickly. So you can kind of understand that part of it. So anyways, about the dolly, it was built by South Korea's Hyundai Heavy Industries. It was owned by Grace Ocean Private Limited, which is a Singaporean company. So it's got a Singapore flag on it. And the Danish company Maersk, Maersk, is the one that chartered this. So I didn't know anything about ships, but I guess it's kind of like a rental thing. So there's an owner of the ship, and then somebody charters it, which is kind of like renting it out to use it to ship your cargo. So they were going from...
But they had their own driver.
Yeah,
private driver.
They're chartering it. They are putting all their people on it.
The crew as well.
Mm-hmm. So Grace Ocean is just the owner of the boat. Ship. Yeah. So yeah, they were going from Baltimore to Sri Lanka. They didn't leave Baltimore. They crashed.
That was a long trip.
Huh?
Long trip.
Yeah. So early Tuesday morning, like I said, they crashed at 1:29. So before that, a mayday call was sent saying that they lost power. They don't have control of steering. Minutes later, there was a crash going about 8. Well, this says the original post said they were going 9.2 miles per hour, but it said that they had slowed to 8. So they sent the mayday call soon enough, so they were able to stop traffic, but the workers weren't able to get off the bridge. So a lot of videos, people are saying like there's still people there. That's workers for working on the bridge that they sold their vehicles there, and those are the vehicles that crashed into the water. So yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies going around about this whole incident too, because people love conspiracies. So there was one saying that the dolly was involved in a 2016 crash in Germany, like that ship had already crashed once also when they were leaving Germany, but I couldn't find anything on that at all. I saw one video about a boat crashing, but there's no proof that that's the same ship.
No reports.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything about it. So that's just one of those things that people are picking up on and running with. But I mean, it could be true, but
I would expect there to be reports regardless of what kind of.
Yeah, and I'm sure if I really dig deep, I could find something about a boat crash, but I just don't know if it's the same ship. And then there's also a bunch of stuff going around saying that Larry Silverstein somehow is connected to the bridge or owns the bridge and is getting $1 trillion insurance payout, which is also not true. So So Larry Silverstein is the one that bought the Twin Towers a month before 9/11 happened, and he ended up getting a 4.5 billion insurance payout after the Twin Towers crash. So I think people just, saw something else major and kind of jumped on that as well, because there's no proof of that.
So, according to information records, he's got nothing to do with the ship.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, he has nothing to do with any of that at all. Nothing to do with Maryland, nothing to do with the bridge. And I really tried to find something because I was hoping for a conspiracy, but there's no proof. So that is another one. Okay. Now there's another conspiracy that leads into, kind of a side conspiracy. And everyone keeps saying that Angela Chow, who is the CEO of the Foremost Group, and that is also a shipping company, they own the Dolly, or they own the company that chartered the Dolly, and that's not true. She was the CEO of the Foremost Group, was just completely separate from the bridge collapse. Now people are connecting this because 6 weeks before this crash, she died on her property in Texas by reversing her Tesla into her pond and drowning, which is very suspicious, on its own. I mean, she could have been the one that did that, but it's just weird. So I wanted to talk about her a little bit. So she was the CEO of the Foremost Group, not connected to the bridge at all or anything. She is the sister-in-law of Senator Mitch McConnell, and he's a pretty famous. I've heard his name before too. I don't really follow politics, but I've heard his name a lot.
Nothing about it.
So when she crashed, she had a blood alcohol level of 0.23, which is 3 times the legal limit. She was driving a Tesla Model X SUV, and it went in reverse on...
How drunk is 0.23 though? Like, I guess that's depending on the person.
Legally, yeah, she was 3 times over.
I think one beer puts you just at the legal limit. Some people, depending on your body weight.
Yeah.
So I went like 3 beers, 4 beers. Like, I wonder what the equivalent of 0.23 in her body was. Like, I'm sure a big old 400-pound guy can. It's probably a lot more to have a 0.23 level.
According to this general Google search for a 100-pound body, which I don't know how much she weighed, but it says 6 drinks would put you at 0.23, and that's for 100 pounds. I mean,
so like
who weighs 100 pounds?
6 drinks at 220 pounds only puts you at 0.10.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I only weigh 120 pounds. So like, let's say she was a small female and she weighs like 110 pounds. That means she had like 6 drinks. What do they define as drinks? A shot, a beer?
I'm not sure. Drinks is probably like a beer, an actual drink, not a shot, but I don't know. I can't find anything about, just quickly, I can't find anything
on her
about how much she weighed or anything.
That's like a picture of her. I mean, we could.
She looks, she doesn't look like she's overweight. But she
doesn't look like small, like tiny person.
Yeah,
either.
She looks like average. So
yeah, let's
say
look up average weight of an American female. I don't want to put numbers out of, because I don't even know the average weight of a male nowadays.
So the average weight of an American female is 170 pounds.
Well, see, I would have been way off.
And honestly, she doesn't look like that much, but we can't tell by her picture.
We don't know for sure.
So,
but let's just go on average.
Even if she was an average weight, like, she would probably only have had to have.
Where's 170? Between 220 and 100.
Yeah,
that's pretty close. Yeah.
She would have had to have, like,
in between those two.
Here, let me see where the So let's see. Here is 160. Let's do that.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh wait, that's male. 160 female right here. To get to 0.23 blood alcohol, it would be
That's
8 drinks.
That's a lot. What do they define as drinks? Like, go look up at the table.
It doesn't say like a drink, what they define as a drink. Yeah, it just says number of drinks. So I would assume just like
they should have it somewhere.
I know, but it says drinks on this website with the chart.
So BAC is the place.
Yeah, BAC is the blood alcohol level.
Oh, okay. What is this? Who determines the BAC, or who puts the regulations out for BAC?
Well, it's about like the way you're tested too. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, who makes you drink, bro?
Because you can blow into it and it'll register your BAC, I think, right? Won't it? Or it'll tell... What is the blood test for?
The blood test is very accurate.
The blood test is... What is the blood test? The breath alcohol test measures the amount of alcohol in the body, testing exhaled air.
Yeah. So I'm guessing the blood would be a little bit higher and a lot more accurate.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Like, your breath can tell how much alcohol you've had. I wonder if it changes if you like just brushed your teeth or stuff like that.
I don't know. It might be
because what if it's the alcohol in your mouth or whatever, and if you brush your teeth and drink water or something, I wonder if it affects that test. It might not affect. You
should look it up. I don't think so.
I
don't think it's necessary. I think it's since it's in your bloodstream already. It's probably like being.
But your bloodstream, waiting 15 minutes after brushing teeth or rinsing mouthwash. So
like even spicy food will make it.
If you brush your teeth, you have to wait. So if you get pulled over, brush your teeth real quick.
It might show more higher. Look, it says similar. Many foods can cause an ignition interlock device to record.
Oh, okay. Spicy foods. Okay, so that's
if
opposite.
If you just brush your teeth,
it
let's
will
say you use mouthwash.
Mouthwash has alcohol in it. Yeah. Never mind.
Let me mouthwash.
Don't listen to my bad advice.
And do a blow test real quick. So, like I said, I don't know if it might. Obviously, it does affect it, but it could affect it in a negative manner as well. So
anyways, we got kind of off topic a little.
Okay, so she might have had like 8 drinks.
So yeah, if she had 8 drinks, her blood alcohol level was 0.23. Yeah. And so
however you feel after 8 drinks, I don't know. We're gonna have to test that out.
I know I would not be here. I would not be driving. But I mean, if she was also an alcoholic, there's no proof of that. But like, if she drank a lot or just often, then that might not affect her that much, Yeah. So
everybody comment on the section who has 8 drinks frequently, average, daily.
How do you feel after 8 drinks? Yeah.
Comment section.
Okay, so when they found her blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. She was driving her Tesla Model X. I did a little research on that too. But she ended up reversing into a pond on a Texas ranch, which I don't know if it's hers or not, but I'm assuming it was her ranch because that's where she lives. And she drowned in her pond.
Oh, wow.
So
it said it was her pond, or it just said
it said a pond. I saw one place that said it was routers that said that it was her pond, but there was nowhere else that said her. So it said,
but it is verified a pond.
It was a private ranch.
On a private ranch.
Yeah, in Texas.
So it could have been like the neighbor's ranch.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily. Not 100% sure it's her.
No, we don't know.
But either way, it's a pond close enough for her to reverse
on private property.
On the Tesla on private property.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's wild.
So.
Anybody own a Tesla? Does a Tesla stop automatically if you're about to reverse into a pond, guys? Comment section.
So a little bit about the Model X. Because I don't know anything about Teslas.
Exactly. So somebody out there does.
According to
Elon, hit us up. Let us know, why is your Teslas running people into the pond?
You need some better safety protocols.
I'm not trying to be in the pond, bro.
So right on the Tesla Model X website, it says they have advanced autopilot and full self-driving capability. Additional features that improve existing functionality over time. So this is going to lead us into our AI subject, because this is kind of a learning car. It kind of sees how you drive and kind of copies you. You know, it kind of knows what you're going to do and can help you assisted driving. But it has full autopilot, like full self-driving.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you're in a very rural city and you're only going down the street and you're only going to 2 stop signs, then that learning technology probably doesn't have to do much. But if you're in the middle of LA, crowded city, you know, cars everywhere, having a parallel park, that's probably the kind of data it's taking in every day.
Yeah. And it says that it works the best like on the highways too. So
because you're just going.
Obviously,
and there's lines telling
it can't.
You need to stop or not.
You need to pay attention if there's cars coming, swerving in and out everywhere. You know.
Yeah.
But on the highway, when there's less traffic and you're just kind of driving, that's probably
there's not much further process.
Yeah. So. It's got auto lane change, and it's also got summon. That's literally what they call it, summon. And you can retrieve your car; it'll come to you.
It's a demon.
So, which is kind of
demons.
Like, imagine being in.
That was Dodge. That was demons.
Right. But yeah, you summon it. So I guess you click a button when you're like walking through Walmart parking lot with a cart full of groceries and can't find your car, and it drives over to you. Here I am.
Valet parking.
Yeah.
Just come out of the grocery store and click the button.
Yeah. So with all of this, like help, you know, you would think that they would have some help for reversing quickly into a pond or something. It just seems a little.
Well, I'm sure all the sensors would have. Like I said, I don't have a Tesla, so I can't be 100% definite.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the sensors on a regular car start beeping when you're gonna run into something, etc. I'm sure Tesla's got better backup sensors that would hopefully stop it. I thought that's like even Toyota's got one where like it automatically stops when it's gonna bump into something or run into something. I don't know if lack of something being there, like a pond. I don't know if it would register pond instead of like road in the dark. Who knows? But there's a lot of Tesla drivers out there. They should know they've experienced. So they can let us know in the comment section.
So I know a lot of cars that aren't even that advanced now will slow down automatically when you're getting too close to somebody, and
they're not self-driving and they'll slow down.
Yeah. So it just, I don't know, very suspicious guy. But it's a terrible accident, and it's really sad that she passed away, and she has nothing to do with the Maryland bridge collapse, though. So
she was also drunk at her house?
Or close to, like she was reversing. That's the part. Like if she drove straight into. I just barely
thought about that.
Yeah.
I was good.
So if she was driving straight into the pond, that would be one thing, you know. But she reversed, which makes me think that she was stopped, like maybe at her house.
Yeah, because like I said, you might be able to throw it in reverse without damaging it, especially if it's electronic. It'll probably process that it's being put into gear first, and then like stop and go into gear.
Yeah.
But like I said, on a regular car, if you were in drive and you're going, even if you let go of the accelerator and throw it into reverse, the transmission would completely you'd ruin it. So
see, and I don't know anything about Teslas, even more. But
and like I said, who gets drunk at their house like to that level and then decides to leave the party? Like is it at your house?
Well,
is it that you're getting that drunk? You must be having a party or some sort of.
Well, I mean, unless it's
like as you said, unless you're alcoholic, like we said, let's not assume she's alcoholic.
Not an alcoholic necessarily, but she's a billionaire. You know, if she's like just at home at night, she could be drinking. You know, but what's the reason for leaving? Yeah, why did you leave?
Wouldn't you come home and not leave home when you're drunk? Like, that's the part I don't get. Especially what time did she run into her pond? It's just that none of it seems to make too much sense at all. So I didn't know much about it until you're talking about it now. And it just doesn't make sense.
It says that she died in a car accident on Sunday, but did not disclose the details, her family. So I don't know if we can find the exact time. Oh, here we go. An ambulance arrived at 12:12 a.m. at the scene where the car containing one person was completely submerged in a pond, estimated to be between 12 feet and 15 feet deep.
Whoa.
The woman in the car was extracted from the vehicle, and rescue workers tried to resuscitate her for 43 minutes without success. So she was found at midnight, or she went in there at midnight, or maybe before that, but...
That's a long time as well, 43 minutes.
Yeah, they tried, it said, to resuscitate her.
Literally till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Around 12, yeah.
12:12.
12:12, sorry.
Yeah.
Around 1 o'clock in the morning.
So that is...
That's wild. That's deep.
And I just don't trust any of this because I listen to true crime, and that's just... My brain is like, there's something more to this, and that they are not telling us, but we'll probably never know. So... sorry to her family.
Yeah,
it's really sad, you know.
family.
She was pretty young and she was very successful, so poor lady. Now, moving into...
And it sucks that she's being tied into all this other BS, and she didn't do anything. Do you get what I mean? Like, now she's a controversial topic, and even we're talking about her. I feel kind of bad talking about her, but
I'm trying to clear it up that she was not involved and let her go. Let her go, like, you know.
I understand, like, if she's a person of high level, high societal status, maybe. You said a congressman was her.
Her sister was married to Senator Mitch McConnell.
So, like, obviously there's going to be a lot of talk about her, but it sucks that it has to be about her being involved with a shipwreck conspiracy-wise.
Something kind of dark. And
when we should be talking, like we just mentioned, about how her actual accident, like, instead of worrying about whether she's involved with the shipwreck or not, or
if she knew something,
like, we should be worried about, like, what's going on, like, with her in general.
And if you really think about it, it was 6 weeks later that the shipwreck happened, so it doesn't really make sense that she would, like, unless they were planning it, you know, that far in advance. Like, it doesn't really make sense that she would even have anything to do with that.
Other than the number 6, like you said, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 days, whatever other stupid stuff people can find on the internet, like you said. Well, even the 6 days that we found, because we were talking about how Larry Silverstein got pulled into it because he bought the Twin Towers. A lot of people were saying that he did that 6 days before, but when I looked it up and watched the video on him talking, he said it was 1 month. So it's just one of those things that conspiracy theorists are putting the numbers in also. Because they want to believe in the science and the numbers so much that they make up random stuff.
And that's kind of why I looked it up so much, because, like, I love a good conspiracy theory too, but this is not that
sense conspiracy. And like I said, at the end of the day, conspiracy theories are wild because at the end of the day, you never know, somebody who has nothing to do or appear to have nothing to do with something could be part of it all, or the main person. So, like I said, that's conspiracy side. Like I said, it doesn't mean that people don't have to be involved or whatever. Looking at conspiracy wise, she could have been, but like I said, that's why there's a difference between conspiracy theory and analytical processing and thinking. Like I said, if we look at this data here, there's no conspiracy theory to be made about her other than, like I said, the 6 weeks or 6. We have 6 weeks,
and that was an estimate. Right here. 6 weeks before. Like she died on February 11th or February 10th, and the bridge collapse was
not even
March
exactly
26th.
6 weeks. So it's like an approximation. Like I said, it's things that
like they just said she died on a Sunday, and the crash was on a Tuesday, and like, so there's a lot of things that it's not exact anyway.
So like, this is going back to what the name of woke chicken is. Like I said, a lot of people say to be woke, and conspiracy theories come about from all these things. Like I said, the people who put this stuff out on the internet saying
we're woke. Look at this connection.
They thought they were woke and putting these conspiracy theories out that have no connections. That's not even 6 actual weeks. They just rounded it to 6 weeks to make it look cool. And like I said, put this lady's name in an article to where they'd get a lot of publicity.
Clickbait. Clickbait,
and it's for the wrong reasons. Like I said, if you're gonna do clickbait on a deceased lady, at least do it on the correct aspects of it. Like I said, don't be tarnishing her name and involving her in conspiracies about random things,
especially when there's no proof.
No proof. Yeah, like I said, if there was proof of it.
And I've fallen for a lot of the clickbait videos, especially looking this up. I'd click on a bunch trying to find something, and everybody just kept reiterating the same stuff over and over and over.
And it's a hot topic.
And it's a hot topic, but there was no proof. And that's the thing that we talked about when we made this podcast too, is that we love conspiracies and we love all this creepy dark stuff, but I just wanted to clarify that we don't love conspiracy theories, but it is interesting to research them and see what people come up with. At the end of the day, we're not going to just clickbait you, we're not going to be like, click this and we're going to tell you all these things that happened that aren't true.
And even if we do believe some sort of conspiracy, like she said, unless we have some sort of information, this would be very cool to follow along with the rest of the clickbait, like, oh, conspiracy, yada yada, she's part of it, the Tesla, yada yada, she ended up in somebody's trying to offer, she knows too much, she's got whatever it may be. But like I said, at the end of the day, that's got nothing at all to do with her story or her case, poor lady,
or her life, or her legacy. But
and like I said, now we all know that she had some sort of alcohol level in her system, and like I said, that's a lot of personal information about somebody's death that the whole world is aware of
and doesn't need to know.
But like I said, if people are gonna use it and etc. clickbait, at least don't be doing it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. This person died, and she has nothing to do with this, and she doesn't need to be drugged through all the media just to get some views, for
somebody's publicity. Clickbait. Yeah.
So that's our little rant on that.
So it's just upsetting. Like I said,
it is upsetting.
While we were talking about it, it just dawned on me weird. And like I said, I didn't think about it before either because we weren't looking at it. Like I said, I didn't know much about her, first of all.
I didn't even know who she was until I saw the TikTok videos connecting her to the bridge.
And I mean, before we started this video, you were looking research up on her, and I didn't even care too much because for the same reasons I'm going off about this rant. It's some person's lives, etc. Same with the industry and celebrities. Why I don't care too much about it, because even though it's out in everybody's eye, it's something a little personal, and it's kind of bothersome. But like I said, I knew you were doing it in the aspect of let's see if it's connected or not. And like I said, in this case, it's not, and that's what we're telling people. She's got no actual connection to it. And once again, going back to name, a lot of people are woke and they're not really. They're woke and they're not really aware.
Yeah, that's
doing
the thing.
Research. So.
The woke chicken. I thought it was ironic to have that name because we're not woke. I think we are aware of things.
Aware, exactly.
And I think,
aware.
But woke is such a trending thing that it's like a clickbait name. So that is our clickbait.
Yeah, and also we made the woke chicken with the true meaning of woke,
to awaken.
And it was kind of based off of Chicken Little. That was a woke chicken right there. The sky's falling. He was aware of something. Try to let the whole world know he was a woke chicken. So kind of where our name derives from. Trying to wake the masses up.
And nobody believed him until it happened.
Until it happened, and like she said, ironically, at the same time, the name woke is now everybody who can find something and make it clickbait, and they're woke now. So very ironic name that fits in with all these topics.
All right, so this has gotten kind of long with her talk.
A little extended.
But so just so you know, she's not connected. She had,
leave this poor lady alone.
Yeah.
Until she actually did something.
Leave her out of your
conspiracy bullshit.
Your TikToks that, don't have anything to do with her. So anyways, talking about her car and how it's AI powered. Well, not necessarily AI, but a smart car, I wanted to talk a little bit about AI because I hear about AI all the time. You hear AI this, AI that, Tesla, Elon Musk, everything. And I didn't really know too much about it. I thought I knew a little bit about it, but when I started looking it up, I was like, I do not know anything about this. So first we'll talk a little bit about Hollywood, and then we'll go into like the more crazy stuff. But Hollywood is using AI a lot now, and I didn't realize that they had been using it since like 2000s, the early 2000s.
But I think it's better to start with the deep fake stuff because that's probably how Hollywood uses it a lot, right? Or how do they use it?
Well, as far as we know so far, they haven't used it for anything too extreme yet. Like, they have confirmed that they've used it in movies like Indiana Jones. I couldn't think of the name. The new Indiana Jones movie.
I don't know how old those movies. I don't watch TV and stuff.
Well, it's the newer one. It came out last year.
Oh, okay, so brand new.
Yeah. And there's a part in the movie where he's supposed to look like he's younger. And stop shaking your leg. So there is a part in the movie that he's supposed to look younger, and so they use AI to make him look way younger.
So it's like filters.
Like a filter. Yeah. That's how they're using it so far.
That's a little bit, like you said, that's...
But like more advanced than just like your Snapchat filter, you know?
And even the Snapchat filters are pretty advanced nowadays. So I can only imagine what Hollywood...
And if you can look on YouTube or TikTok, you can see the comparison. They have like top and bottom where you see Harrison Ford, and then underneath it shows what he actually looked like in the movie. So you can see like
comparison. Young Harrison Ford
versus old
AI,
like now
filtered Harrison Ford and reality Harrison Ford.
Yeah, cool. So stuff like that. There's another movie called Here that Tom Hanks is going to star in. It's not out yet, and then there's another actor too in it, but they're going to use that also to make them look younger. So there's a lot of them that they are using just to use the old actors for young stuff. Okay, and that's kind of... Oh, go ahead.
So, like I said, I think that the deep fake is that technology is a lot of what they use for this, making the people look younger for filters, etc.
And so that brings me into like my thought process is like the jobs that it's going to be taking away also, you know? So Tyler Perry talked about...
I don't think too many other than famous people who...
Well, not necessarily famous people either. Tyler Perry was talking about building an $800 million studio in Atlanta, I think he said, wherever he lives. But then he had been planning it for 4 years, and they were ready to like break ground and start building it, and he canceled that. He put it on hold. Yeah. And when
it's redundant.
Well, he said he didn't know if he should build it because of AI.
Yeah. Because it'd be redundant to build a whole studio.
Yes. But that, I don't know how I feel about that, because building a studio does give people jobs to build it. It gives people...
Well, the people who are getting those jobs to build it probably are already wealthy companies. They're not going to go...
Well, it's not necessarily just that, though. I'm not done yet.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just going off by what you're listening.
Okay, yeah. So for that, you're right. They're probably going to find another job. That's fine.
Not going to find another job, like you said.
Well, they already have a job.
They're not going to go find a company that needs work. They're going to go find a company that is reputable and is probably so wealthy that they're going to be on back hold for a while to construct anyway.
And that's fine. So they don't have to worry about anything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, whoever didn't get that job doesn't need that job anyway. And
then other things that, you know, are involved in a movie company, you know, prop set, like building sets for the movies, and
based off of that, like, so that's your argument, and that could be a lot of people's argument.
I'm not done yet.
I know, but like I said, I'm not. If you list all your stuff, it's gonna be hard to go back and relist the reasons for it. So you're giving me a reason of that side, and like I said, I don't agree with everything. I don't disagree with everything you're saying, but what I'm saying is the counter argument would be there's not enough people to do those jobs anyway. On a production set that is already built and a studio that's already built, guaranteed they have problems finding and keeping production sets for extended periods of time, because there's not enough people that want to do that job, and the people that get those jobs are, half of them probably end up being not qualified or being able to do the job all the way correctly, and the other half probably end up finding other jobs after they've done that for 2 to 6 months. So like it might be same with the farm situation I was telling you about. People always complain about like, oh, if they're gonna take our jobs away. How many people are really trying to be out there 12 hours a day, cutting basil, picking lavender, picking? They have a bunch of undocumented illegals doing this work. Yeah. So like I said, who's the stuff that we're complaining about is stuff that's already, like I said, counter argument. It's already a problem to begin with. You're not going to be able to, if you build that studio, how do you know you're going to be able to supply the crew to run the studio?
That's just like, we'll see. I don't know. But what I was trying to say is like, the set, the people who build the set, the people
who run the set.
But not only that, it's the people that do the movies too, because people no, not actors.
Producers.
There's like hundreds of people that do movies. So there's people that do makeup artists. They are all out of a job with AI.
For sure, gone.
Yes.
Makeup artists. How many?
And some of them are very creative. They sit there for, which I understand, because actors will sit there for hours for a 2-minute clip.
Absolutely, to a certain degree.
But now
you're looking at it.
Yeah, now all these makeup artists are completely out of a job. Like I said, the sets, they don't have to do that. Like the lighting now, there's nobody that's gonna have to do lighting, because you're gonna have AI, and there's just gonna be one set.
Redundancies.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, and this is just movies, so it's not really like the biggest deal,
exactly.
But it's leading to other stuff, like AI just keeps pushing, taking over because we want to. Like, we're doing this.
Yes, but they will. Once again, they will never. AI will not, until it's human level. All the stuff people and the arguments you're putting out now, it's you have a point. They're very fundamental and based on very concrete things, but at the same time, like I said, they have very concrete counter arguments as well that have also a lot of proven factual statistics. And until AI can surpass the creativity, and not only creativity and thought processing and I'm not only from my words, but from huge, like, smart, creative people, scientists, etc. AI can't be, and this is from people who believe AI can't create without having human input. First of all, they can develop very quickly, etc. But for example, you said
that's the only thing that they're lagging right now.
Exactly,
and that's something that I'm sure can be input
eventually. And until that happens, like I said, Tom Hanks said, I can die and still be making movies.
Yes,
he
did say that. Direct quote.
Right. So that's because he knows. Instead of making a separate AI character, they'll use his likeness and his characteristics and his mannerism throughout all his other hundreds of movies, and make that.
And AI. So that's another thing that's coming up too. Like, obviously Tom Hanks is like, very well.
My point with that, let me finish my point with that. Even Tom Hanks knows that even though there's AI, it's gonna be his likeness, him.
Yeah.
So like, even he's aware that AI can't take over it can do his job, it can't take his job.
Yeah.
It can't be him. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
he's aware he's gonna be AI, not AI be him.
But that's another thing too that people are talking about. There's no like laws on this. There's no rules on this.
Not yet.
So they're saying who owns the AI and what is to stop them from doing whatever they want with it. Without your permission.
There's I'm sure there's publishing, like you can publish an NFT. I'm sure you can publish your likeness of your AI. Like I said, he probably's already done it.
Yeah.
He's probably has his AI character that
I'm
is
sure,
probably
especially
filming movies already.
Filming in a movie that is including
what they're talking about on him, what he's talking about from what he's saying might be what I'm telling you. He might not even be physically there anymore. They might just be inputting his character.
And that's another thing they're asking, how do they get paid if they only have to do one thing and then they...
For his likeness.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
book.
So do you
publish a book,
Do you still get paid millions of dollars per movie, or do you just get paid one time to use your
contract?
AI?
If you're going to charge $1 million for them to use your likeness of your AI, then they have to pay you $1 million. Just because you don't have to do anything.
One time though, or every time that a movie wants you.
However your contract is based. If you're doing it for, let's say, Sam Film Industries, and I do a contract with you and say, I'm going to use your likeness, your AI, for the next 10 movies. I'm going to give you $1 million for that. You can't say nothing for the next 10 movies. I can use your AI. Okay. You sign the contract. If I say, sign this, we're going to do a contract for one movie for $1 million for using your AI and your likeness, etc., then I can't utilize it for more than that one movie. I can't go make 10 movies and say, oh, you let me use it. Contractually,
and so that's as far as I could find too. That's what they're still trying to work out, because it's such a new concept that they're still trying to figure out what they can do and what they can't do, and who owns it and where does it stay, and so like
because the thing is, you can go make an AI with the likeness of the neighbor, and she could never know about it.
Yeah.
So that's where these problems are coming in into place. I think not necessarily, like you said, for famous people. They're so rich and famous, they got lawyers that are even though in the real world there's no rules and regulations. These people are so rich and etc. that they already have their contracts written out for them.
That's true.
To what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, so
he ain't worried.
That is one of the like AI things in Hollywood. The other one that came up that was kind of controversial was George Carlin, who is a very famous comedian. He passed away in 2008. There's a company called Dudesy on YouTube, and they just created a complete show about him, like with AI, and they went back and they used all of like his old work and stuff, and they created a special called. They created a special called "I'm Glad I'm Dead" or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, they did this whole thing, and there was a whole special comedy scene for him, but he was dead.
Yeah. So what the dude said is that he was a fan of his work, so he went and studied all his work, like who knows how many stand-up, and then put it out and his perspective. It was like homage to the guy.
Yes, but his daughter was not happy, and she sued them. They ended up settling. I don't know the end of that, but they settled because she went on TMZ and she made like this video, and she pretty much said, "This is not my dad. If you want my dad's work, it's all free on YouTube. Go look it up. But this is not him." And then there was another one called a podcast titled "Really No Really Podcast." They said that they wedged it. This video has wedged itself into his legacy, and you can't unhear this. And one of the guys said George Carlin evolved from what he felt, so all of his jokes would evolve over time, and most of the AI wasn't funny, just a statement, which I thought was interesting to hear. I haven't watched it either, but it's true. Like, if AI is like kind of programming all of these old specials and then trying to make it emotional and make it funny, it's coming across, like you said earlier, it's coming across as just blanket statements because they don't have that creativity part of it.
They're not human yet, and they never will be. Like I said, if Tom Hanks isn't worried about his job, the easiest job to replace by AI, then nobody else should be worried.
Well, I liked the thing that this guy said. It was an actor, but I don't know who it is. I don't really follow a lot of them, but he said that the part where he said that it wedged itself into his legacy, I like, because now there's going to be snippets everywhere that people take from this. And then if you look up George Carlin, this is going to pop up. It more than likely now it's going to pop up more than ever. And people are going to see this,
and it's the most recent,
and be like, "Oh, look, this is funny. This is George Carlin," but it's not him. So,
but like I said, if this guy is making everybody, first of all, if you follow comedy or you're watching anything of his, like I've never seen anything of his unless I was probably on Joe Rogan or something.
I watched some of it when I was a little bit younger. He was
he
was controversial because he was like a philosopher too, and he really kind of smacked you in the face with like, you need to wake up and think about this.
But like I said, from what I've heard, he was a pretty wild dude. Yeah. His stuff was pretty wild. Like I said, I never heard anything of his other than from like in Joe Rogan and when probably like little snippets on shorts when I'm like on the Joe Rogan thing. But my point being is, the guy who made this AI thing has let the whole world know it's AI. First of all, second of all,
but that doesn't mean that people are going to know.
Yes. But second of all, this dude's dead, so you can't be producing work after you're dead physically. First of all, there's posthumanist.
But the problem is that when people like, if people go look up George Carlin now to see his stuff, this is gonna pop up.
I understand,
and that's just like you and me. Like if somebody wanted to create something from us by studying him, that doesn't mean that that's
you
us.
Exactly.
Like,
so here's what I'm going with.
That's his perspective of what George Carlin was.
This guy, not only is this eye is a perspective of the fan of
George Carlin.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, so it's not even. Like
it's not family.
Double perspective. It's not just the eye's perspective. It's what's the guy that made the podcast
It's Dudesy. I don't know what
Dudesy. It's Dudesy's perspective through an AI. So do you get what I'm saying? He also in his study he said it's not like it was just
I understand
AI based. So this guy did it because he's a fan of Carlin, right?
Yes.
And like I said, he's letting the world know it's AI. It's not Carlin. Carlin's dead, so it can't be Carlin. Like I said, there's anything
but at the end of the day, people know that there's a George Carlin AI special. They don't know what Dudesy is. They don't know who created it. When I looked up all of this stuff,
and that might be a problem legally.
Yes, so but not just legally. I think like ethically, honestly.
Unless they're doing like porn scenes or something. No. I think, in my personal opinion, let's say I was a comedian and somebody took the time to study my work and then decided, hey, this dude's work is great. I'm going to take the time. Now we have great tools and accessibility to AI. I'm going to have AI try to replicate something of his sort and liking. That's where, like I said, that's where it gets bad. See, if somebody was taking my liking, even though they're doing it because they're admiring my work, I would like it to benefit not only them, but my family, my estate in this case. So, hey, whoever created this, hey, we'll give you 40% for using your likeness in your AI, and obviously we got it from your inspiration from all your previous work. We get 60% because we're the actual ones creating the content. Like I said, because of legal monetary reasons. Like I said, somebody's benefiting, then my estate and my family should as well. But like I said, beyond that, to me, that's awesome to a whole nother level. Not only is his work gonna live on, but now his AI work is gonna embody him into a whole nother aspect of comedy.
And that's
like
where
now he's on the web forever.
I think that's where we disagree on that because we don't
have to agree with what I say.
But I just think that at the end of the day, this isn't him. As much as this guy followed him.
That's what I'm saying, and nobody's saying it's him.
I know, but listen, at the end of the day, people are going to search this, just like I found all this stuff on Angela Chow on TikTok. Yeah. They're going to cut this, and they're going to say it's him, and eventually it's going to all mold together, and people are going to search for him, and this is going to pop up, and they're going to watch it, and they're going to think it's him, and it's not. And it's not anything to do with him. He has nothing to do with it except that he told original jokes, and they got taken into a filter and then put into another filter and then spit out. So it's like
I said,
that's my problem with it, is that they're going to associate all of this stuff eventually. Maybe not now because everyone's saying this is AI, this is AI, this is AI. But eventually it's going to just pop up as George Carlin. Yeah, and it's not him.
And that's not a problem of AI or a problem of the creator, that Dudesy guy that created this. That is a problem of lack of information and people not caring.
Exactly,
so,
and that's people.
That's going to happen regardless.
So it's not necessarily Dudesy's fault, and it's not AI's fault, but it's the way that this world is going, and that's what scares me.
And like you said, there's no rules and regulations on it. Eventually there will be, And like I said, these rich people have it figured out already. Why do you think it didn't go beyond the settlement? Because they probably wrote out a contract that stated something of what I said. Cool, you created this, but you're using our um, Carlin's image, and we are his estate. Therefore, we need to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Did they take this comedy down? Is it gone? Did it get
It's still up there.
So therefore, they probably didn't disagree to it to the level of removing it. Like I said, once you're benefiting from it, all those things change a lot. Like I said, if I'm not benefiting from it, then yeah, I'm gonna be mad if somebody, even if I might have told that joke when I was alive, I would, and my dad might have told that joke when he was alive, whoever, my uncle, I would be mad that I'm not benefiting from this. Somebody else is using my dad, my uncle, whoever, grandpa. So yeah, like I said, but once I start benefiting it, if it's not something that goes against, like I said, like morality or whatever, like they show him like in a porn scene or something, then yeah, like I said, then I'd be really like, this is not it, take it down. You know, but like I said, it didn't get taken down, it didn't get removed. There was a settlement. Obviously, it came to some sort of agreement. So like I said, that's the only problem in my view, is that there is no regulations to come to these agreements beforehand. Like I said, you can take the neighbor's likeness and turn it into AI and she could never know. That's a big problem to me. Now, if you could take her AI likeness and put it into AI and she was aware of it and she benefited as well as you, and she was okay with everything that you're, like I said, let's say she doesn't want you to put her in porn, or she doesn't want you to put her in gun action films, but she's okay with doing comedy film scenes, then you could put her AI likeness into anything comedy, and she can benefit and gain from it.
I guess that's like the biggest thing is like, if this family's okay with it, then that's a different thing. You know, if you're okay with it, it's going to get to the point like we talked about that you can't tell what's real and what's not real.
So that's why there should be a regulation on, hey, let's say I pass away tomorrow and somebody makes an AI likeness of me. Like I said, as long as they're not putting me, like, shooting up a school or whatever, you probably would be okay with that. Like, oh, look, like, maybe not you, but like I'm just saying in general. Yeah. Like, some people might be like, oh, that's weird. It's a AI simulation of it. But like I said, some people might look at it like, oh, he's living in a, like, he gets to be here still to a certain degree. Yeah. To like I said, it's, let's say I am a chef and they make an AI likeness of me doing recipes
cooking
every
videos
Friday, cooking videos. Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna be very hard for somebody to dislike that or be like, no, take that down. My dad's dead. He disapprove it completely. Like I said, might be some people who are extremely against AI and all that type of stuff that will be. But like I said, most people aren't. Like I said, I'm against most of this stuff, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. So, like I said, I don't think most people would be in that scenario, unless it was something wrong. Like I said, if they're using my likeness for something wrong, very upsetting. I would understand. Yeah. But till then, like I said, the regulations of it, like I said, I understand that they do need to have a lot more regulations.
Definitely, I think.
And I think even Musk, Elon Musk, has told on videos and stuff that AI needs to be regulated, and that I think he's like, oh, I warned them, but they didn't listen and stuff. So who knows?
So that's just kind of the Hollywood side of it. And
so what's your guys' opinion on this AI likeness coming down in the section? Would you be okay with it, or would you be against it if you were benefiting and had some sort of say of what got done with your likeness? Let us know.
Let us know. All right. So along the same lines of AI visuals, there are cows now that are getting VR goggles.
Yeah. And you think you also don't agree with that?
I mean, this whole AI, all of it, I'm kind of like on the fence about. I don't really care for it. Yeah. I like technology, you know. I've always liked, like podcasts, movies. I love movies. I love watching movies. That's kind of why it gets to me, because I'm like, I love the hands-on approach of like doing the makeup and doing the sets and putting your work into something. So AI taking over, it's kind of, I don't know if I like it. But anyways,
that's the movie industry. I don't even care about movies.
But
so that doesn't
then
even bother me.
Cows, this is the next one. The cows, during the winter, obviously, they're not making as much milk because it's cold, and they, kind of just do their thing and almost hibernate. They slow down. Just like chickens, they don't lay eggs as much in the wintertime. So there are, I forgot where exactly it is, but they have invested in putting VR sets on cows so that they are visualizing a spring day with other cows and they're running through the green fields, and then they feed them, their food, and they produce more milk because they think that it's still springtime time to produce milk. And that's taken over a lot, and that's like been news for a little bit now, which I think is a little crazy because you should let the cows rest, in my opinion. Like, you should just let them have their natural rest period and then come back and make more milk in the spring.
That makes sense. They should. I think it's a problem that they're messing with nature to that level. But I think, like I said, to me, I'm like the most anti-AI, anti-technology, not because of the AI and technology, but because of its misutilization. And like you said, in this case, hooking up a cow just so it can't get a rest period and you can get productivity throughout the whole year, that's messed up.
Yeah, and I already am not a fan of the dairy industry, to begin with. And
that's why. Because of stuff like this.
Yeah, and also because the way that they get the milk, you should go look it up. It's sad,
Yeah.
And so to push it further and make them produce milk year round, that is a problem to me.
Yeah, it's a problem because of the industry and the misutilization.
And people look at cows like they're machines, when they are alive, they're sentient beings, and we they're shouldn't. They're still animals and
creatures.
And so now we're make more, and putting VR sets. A lot of the comments on the videos that I saw were I don't even have a VR set, but you bought a whole field of cows VR sets.
That's how much. That's how much profit they are getting
out of it. Yeah, they can.
So once again, I don't have a problem with the application itself. The problem is the misutilization. If you did have a cow that did get really depressed and etc. during the winter time, and in order to
cheer it up
help
or something,
you put a VR set on her, feed her, milk her, etc., just to get her rejuvenated and out of depression.
But when it's every single cow just to make your numbers look
for production
better,
and profit, that's messed up.
So I think that's
my main reasons of why I'm against most AI and advancement in technology, because of dumb people's misutilization, not because of the application. Like I said, a cow with VR set, that's pretty dope. Especially, like I said, the dude mentioned cows go into extreme depression. I'm sure they do. I've heard about crazy stuff with animals. So thinking that you could just hook a VR set to them and feed them some food or whatever, that's cool. But like you said, for profitable gains and just keep pushing a machine or a creature it's a machine, that's messed up.
So that's one of the things that I was that's one of the things that makes me not care for AI to that level.
I don't care for it.
And then
people are stupid.
So then I saw the next step, which is robots. Real robots. So apparently Amazon already has an Amazon Astro that will follow you around with your tablet, and you can video chat with your friends and just talk and go to about your everyday life, and it'll carry your tablet.
Machines in the Chinese restaurants or whatever on TikTok where they roll around with the little
and you put your stuff and it'll take it back to the kitchen.
They actually have the little tablet on their
that's in Japan. That's
Japan,
that's been a thing, I guess, for a while.
Yeah, I see that on TikTok.
So now it's coming to America where you can buy a robot. But so I have this video I want to show him. I'm going to put it on our screen too, and he hasn't seen it yet. And I'm just gonna put a little clip on our screen, but there's a longer version. But if you go look it up, it's kind of strange. You should watch the whole thing. But here, watch this video.
Hey, Figure One, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Alright, so I just put that video of the robot handing an apple to the guy who's talking to him. The longer video has like trash and stuff too. So after he watched that, he wasn't impressed. So he had to one-up me. And I'm going to try and put the video that he just showed me on here too, because that one was pretty crazy.
Such a show off.
So he showed me one from Boston Dynamics, which is pretty, I knew the name of that already because it's a pretty common, when
wide.
you hear robot, like
Yeah.
they're one of the ones that comes up a lot.
It's kind of like a household.
I just didn't realize how advanced, like how far they had come. Those weird robot dogs that you see on all the videos, they made them, right? They're the ones that, so you can go buy those dogs too on their website, but they don't have a price. They also sell ones for your warehouse that like can stock and stuff.
Okay, I thought it was
there's a stock one. And then if you go to their website, they have...
So they have a stalker for sale? That's the one with the big...
Yeah.
Yeah, those are real neat.
They call him Stretch.
And they actually have the one video, is the one I showed you, is Stretch, huh? The one where he's like got a personality also.
I'm not sure which one that is.
It was one of them.
Maybe.
With the crane on it.
Oh yeah.
Picture of which one stretches.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to put that in there in the video, or at least link it below. I think it's Spot who you were talking about. So this is the one, maybe. We're looking at the website for Boston Dynamics right now. Stretch is the one that can stock your warehouse. So this is what Stretch looks like. Spot is the one that is like a dog. That's this one.
That one has different attachments.
Yeah, for the head. So it's got different things you can add to it.
Yeah, so that one's the one that can be security. It's got an arm on the top to grab stuff, or it's got the like 360 drone type of view on the top. Yeah,
so it's like security dog.
And that one's the one that can walk up and down like almost anything.
Oh, squat, yeah. You can like...
They show it in a bunch of videos, like through rubble, going up rubble. And
I almost think this is creepier than the standing robots, you know?
Well, like, this has been used, I think, for like retrieving and helping with, like, let's say in third world country, like, or not even third world country, just wherever something collides, like let's say a building collapses or whatever, and
they can send them in
there, they send the robots instead of the people. Yeah. And I'm guessing that even the human looking robots are being utilized for that now, but for sure the dogs have been set into action for a long time now.
So on the Boston Dynamics website still, you can go and look at Atlas, and he's like one of the actual standing robots that looks like a robot you would think about.
Atlas is cool.
And so it says he's got like 28 joints, 2.5 meters per second speed. He's 1.5 meters tall, 89 kilograms, and like they have him testing jumping, running,
shuffle,
dancing. I'll try to put that in there, at least link it. But yeah, so that's the stuff that is cool. And cool. Also in the most purest form. And like I've always liked robots. When I was a kid, I liked robots.
Sci-fi status.
Yeah, and I really think that it's a cool thing if it's used properly. That's the only thing, that everything that we like can be misused.
Misutilized.
So robots are cool. Like robots that just, help you out and protect you, that's cool.
And I can't speak too much on Boston Dynamics overall, but as far as I'm aware, they probably do a lot of stuff with the military. But in general, from what they put out, they seem like a pretty preservative company. Like what they're showing, what they're using their products for is very not only innovative, like they say, but helpful. Like the other robot with the skin is actually sweats and regulates temperature like human skin to test suits. That's
Boston
just one they
Dynamics
use.
also?
That's also Boston Dynamics.
Okay.
Yep. And that one's just, they don't sell that or have it even on here probably, but
It's
they
probably
do
when they're
utilize
still
it.
researching and
It's a research robot, so they research with it. They research suits with it. So like I said, the
and you said
military's been using it guaranteed. Sweats, like to regulate temperature, like a human
like
body.
it can release oils or whatever that it's.
I'm not sure what it releases. I'm guessing some sort of
look
fluid.
it up more,
but in order to keep a microclimate inside of the suits, kind of like a body would.
That's wild. That's so crazy.
And it detect if something comes in through the suit, a harmful whatever chemical or harmful substance, it'll detect it. That robot will detect.
So it's got sensors all over its
like a skin.
Like skin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
And like I said, they don't sell that or promote that too much, but what they're using it for, like I said, I'm sure it can have it can be misutilized, but at the moment, like I said, they're probably military's using it probably to test their hazmat suits, etc.
Yeah. Cool. That's cool. Yeah, to make sure because if he can sense that something's on his skin, then that means they can test their suits to see if it leaks in them or something.
If it's got leaks, exactly. So, like I said, that's very cool, but it can be misutilized. In what manner? Let's say you want to produce something extremely toxic, extremely harmful substance. That's the way to test it.
On something that can tell you.
It can tell you exactly.
You're not hurting anybody yet.
And you can bomb it with whatever you want, and it'll tell you if it's harmful or not. It'll feel it, detect it, tell you what it is. So, like I said, we might have already gases, deadly gases, or whatever harmful gases and substances. But like I said, how do you take that to the next level with a robot like this? So, like I said, it could be misutilized, and that's one of the ways it could be misutilized.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not what it's being used for.
Let's hope. So if you guys want to go buy a Amazon Astro robot to secure your house and follow you around, it's $2,300 on Amazon. So just Google.
And that's the Amazon product.
Astro, yeah. And then if you want to go buy a little dog security, a little more expensive, but you got to be secure. Go to Boston Dynamics website.
That one can do all sorts of stuff other than just security.
Oh yeah, that one is pretty crazy. It says, let's see. I mean, it just looks
close to a couple $100,000 as well,
though. So this one, like you were saying, you can do manual operations or autonomous missions. So you can send it in to make sure there's no people or get stuff out of a crashed down building or whatever.
And in this case, for like a warehouse, pre-configured packages for inspection.
So you can make sure that they're secure and ready to be.
Make sure there's nothing hazardous in there as well.
Okay,
like any sort. Like for example, in a business, you're just to store stuff. Make sure it's in there. Open it, put it aside. I don't know. There's so many things that I would utilize that for. All redundant activities.
It's got autonomously. It can autonomously charge.
It'll go plug itself in.
So dynamically replanning around new obstacles and self-righting if it falls. With over 1,000 robots in customer hands today, you can rest assured that Spot is a dependable coworker that delivers consistent results. So this is I've seen this video tons of times all over the place for helping police departments. I can't think of the word for department.
Like police officers, police cars.
Police departments all over, secure streets and stuff. You've seen the TikToks where people are recording outside and it's just this weird little dog walking down. But so this
in personal use, even what is it called? The dogs, the assistant that help you. support dog.
Yeah.
Was the other one
a seeing eye dog?
Assistant, yeah, like the
emotional support.
but the other one, not emotional support, but like when you actually need like
it's a
vision impaired people and all that. What is the technical name for that?
They're called service dog.
Service dog. Yeah. There we go. So instead of a real dog, you have a robotic service dog.
Yeah.
You know, help you cross the street, etc. Like it can function for so many more things in real life than a regular dog would. You know, I wouldn't want my regular dog crossing the street ahead of me and getting ran over accidentally because it thought it was safe, and some jackass comes, you know, it'd be a robot dog that gets ran over, and that potentially might be able to even spot that car before it hits it. Something that the dog might have seen, but might have not, and been able to react correctly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So that was pretty much all that I had about it for now. I mean, we can get way deeper into this, but this will be like a 4-hour episode. So mostly it was just about the movies and how Hollywood's using it, and then the new technology for robots.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool stuff can be used for stupid stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on with the AI world, and I think that everyone should definitely like keep on top of it and kind of.
We should all be aware of it.
Yeah, at least know what's going on, because I thought I knew, and then when I started looking it up, I didn't know anything.
Oh, did you actually? We didn't even talk about deep fakes.
Yeah,
that's like a whole nother.
We can go. I think we might have to do another episode for just AI and like deeper stuff.
Like a 3-hour AI episode.
Yeah. But this is a good little scratch the surface if you're interested in it. There's a lot of stuff you can look up from our video, because I have like a bunch of stuff written down that I didn't even talk about yet. So, but I think we should do that on another episode. So what do you think about AI? What do you think about security robots and security robot dogs?
If anybody's ever thought about purchasing a Boston Dynamics robot, let us know. Anybody out there has one, let us know.
If anyone has the Amazon Astro little one, there's only 2 reviews on the website right now on Amazon. But if you have one for your business, let us know how it does, because in my mind it is pretty cool. I was reading through like some of the features of it, but once again, you're taking away a job from a security guard, in my opinion. Like,
not if it's in your home though.
Yeah.
Like most people don't have security guards in their home, especially not if they're only paying $2,300 for it.
So it's not that much. It's affordable for pretty much, anyone that has a decent job.
And I mean, somebody who's got security guard is probably having this and still keeping their security guard. Like if I had enough money to have a security guard around, this would be supplemental. I still want to have I still want to have my security guard around.
That's true.
I said at this level,
you can't change the human part of these jobs.
Exactly. At this level, humanity hasn't been taken away yet.
And let's hope it stays there for a long time.
But now, on the other hand, Atlas, give me Atlas real quick, and I'll get rid of this. And Spot. Well, Atlas is the big robot, man robot looking. Like I said, give me Atlas. I'll take Atlas over any bodyguard.
Boston Dynamics.
Yeah. So, and like I said, in that case, it kind of would replace and take somebody's job. But I don't know. That's where it becomes. Again, also, do you want a human being putting their life on the line in order to secure you, or would you rather have a robot in order to secure you and employ that security guard in a better, more productive environment? Like,
it's definitely a debate like that we can go on and on about, because there's so many different aspects to it that it's really hard. It's good and it's bad.
At the end of the day, I guess it depends on humanity. Like we said, stay aware, and it's all up to us in general at the end of the day as a whole. Like I said, because we were talking about AI earlier, and Carlin, like I said, it was affecting. It didn't affect anybody else but the people directly involved with it. We were all aware of it and part of it, and we're discussing it here. But at the end of the day, like I said, if everybody's aware of it to a certain degree, then it can't affect beyond that level of personal. Like I said, now, and even now, they might be gaining something. They might be profiting. But like you said, if we didn't keep aware and we weren't making sure what we're watching and what we're consuming, we could say, hey, I just saw Carlin's whatever thing or a clip about Carlin and it's the AI and not actual Carlin. That's us at the end of the day for putting that out in that manner. Like I said, if we're all aware and well informed about what's going on around us, we know it's AI Carlin.
That's another thing that can get back to Angela Chow too. We're, you know, I found all these TikToks putting this out here that she is involved in this thing. That's all of us as a whole, like, consuming all this false information.
And not only consuming it, but putting it out. First of all, it has to be put out and then consumed.
Yeah.
You can't consume something that's not out there. So everybody creating and putting out. Like you said,
we just need to be aware of what's information's out there, what's real, what's not real, and where it's coming from.
Exactly. And like I said, I don't think that's AI's fault. AI has nothing to do with that. I don't think it's robotics' fault. I don't think they have nothing to do with that. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's humanity that's manipulating it. So we are the ones that need to be aware of how it's manipulated. And at the end of the day, it's, obviously it will impact and be detrimental for a lot of people in the future. But like I said, that'll be because nobody is aware of it now.
Yeah. So this is real. It's happening. Like, we're not going to stop this at all.
It's taking over the world.
We need to be aware of what is going on and how it's going to affect our lives. Like, we just need to know. We just need to stay knowing.
Stay woke, chicken.
All right. So please like this video, share it, subscribe, all the things. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify we're on now. So if you just want to listen while you're driving to work, go on Spotify. But yes, please share. This has been fun. We like doing this. I like doing this. I don't know about him. I always drag him. Come on, let's go. It's time for the podcast. But yeah.
It's good.
Please like and subscribe to our channel. All right. See you next time.